G'day all, welcome back again to Dad vs. Son, our playthrough of Panzer Grenadier from Avalanche Press, the Kokoda campaign, introductory scenario 2. And we're about to go on with the 1100 turn. The Australians have lost 15 steps, they're on 0 initiative. The Japanese have only lost 6 steps and still are on 3 initiative. And things are crook in Tullarook, but the Australians may be able to hang on. So last time we had Assault Hex 1 down here with only a little lieutenant. He tried to run away, but the Australian lieutenant was killed. So these Japanese are here now. Assault Hex 2 down here has got one reduced, demoralised Australian infantry platoon against, a company of Japanese. This lieutenant and his troops wandered down this way and came under fire from the lieutenant and the sergeant, machine gun and a couple of platoons. And they took another step? Yes, they did take another step loss. I don't know if I did the leader check for that lieutenant. Nah, he's fine. So if I missed it last time, he's still fine. So they've got 2 infantry, reduced infantry platoons and an engineer platoon there. Everybody else sort of moved up. And the lieutenant here with his short company moved forward to here, came under opportunity fire, and the lieutenant got disrupted. So we are up to the second last turn. Let's get into it. Again, I think last time I screwed up and I didn't do the fog of war rolls, but shit happens. My apologies. Anyway, initiative 0 plus 1 for the Australians, and 3 plus 5 is 8. Okay, 8 minus 1 is 7. Half of that is 3.5. Rounded up is 4 activations for the Japanese. So let's get into it. So I'm just going to write 1, 2, 3, 4 for them. And I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try and jump in here and knock these bastards out a little bit. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to activate these guys to assault into here. We'll bring up the assault map. This will be Assault Hex 1. The Australians are defending. These guys here are all spotted, idiot. So, dump. Let's just drag out. So we have 2 infantry platoons and a lieutenant against a major, 2 lieutenants, and yay, look at that. One little platoon of infantry. Right. Okay, so the Australians had not activated, so they get the first fire at these guys. So that will activate them as they get first fire. And first fire is direct fire, I believe. I should check that, shouldn't I? Shouldn't I? Let's do that. First fire. Dun, dun, dun. First fire and assault. Okay. Place it dug in, no. Digging in, no. Strong points get first fire, no. Flamethrowers, no. Entrenchments. Village is sort of the entrenchments. In assault combat. Yeah. Where are procedure? Okay. Each player totals direct fire value, blah, blah, blah. Implement combat results except first fire. Note that defending units do not have to activate to fire and are not marked. Aha! This is just first fire. Okay, 12, 4, 3. Column modifiers. Negative column modifiers for terrain only apply to fire of wherever size is currently the attacker in the assault. Okay, so they're not going to get therefore it activates units in assault X with town. His units suffer the -2. The defending allies do not. Okay. Fire combat. First fire. When conducting an assault against dug-in or entrenched units, defending units occupying resolve their fire first. The attacker suffers any combat results obtained by the defender. Yeah, that's all it is. So it's assault combat. Yes. Okay, so we have 4. We have 5, 6 using the lieutenant. So that's it. 6. So on the assault combat, we're on the 5 column. They're attacking units, not defending units. So they don't get jungle. All units on the attacking side have higher morale than defending. No, they do not. We are the attackers for this. Friendly leader. So we get a +1. Elevation's the same. That's it. I think it's just a +1. So we're going to be on the 9 column. We get an 8 on the 9 column, which is a bloody nothing. Okay. So that's it. So the Japanese are attacking. They have 8. Defenders in jungle is down 1. They have high morale is up 1. So they're even. They've got an undermoralized leader. So they're +1. They're Japanese. That's +2. And that's it. So they're on the 8, which is 5. +2, they're on the 13 column. They get a 10 on the 13 column, which is 1 loss. Okay. So the Australians take 1 loss. Now, we can take it on this lieutenant or on this infantry because they have the same morale. No, they don't. There's a unit there. We've got to take it there first. There's 7, 6. That's 8. We've got to take it here. So we've got to take it there. And it was this lieutenant that was doing it. So this lieutenant has to go for, we've got to do an M2 for him and him. Oh, no, they attacked everybody. So being a dickhead. So we've got an M2. So we need an 8 or less for the major. He passes. Flying colours. A 7 or less for the lieutenant. He passes. A 6 or less for our best, for our other lieutenant. He is demoralized. And our reduced unit is a 6. +1 is 7. So we need a 5 or less for this little fella. And he gets a 9 and is demoralized as well. And then we need to do a leader loss check. And I suppose it would be on the top leader. So it's going to be a 3 or less. It's a 5. Nothing happens there. So that is done, and these guys have finished. They have been activated. So now it's the Japanese turn again. So I think we'll do this one here. So this will be their second activation. This guy is just going to try and fix himself up again, and these guys will assault. So we'll draw the lieutenant first. So he is disrupted. He is a 9, so he needs an 8 or less for a recovery check, and gets it and is done. Righto, and these little gentlemen here is 12. So again, they're going to be on the 9. We're in jungle, so there's the 5. All units have better morale. They have an undemoralized leader, takes it up to the 13. They're Japanese, they're on the 18. They get a 7 on the 18, which is a morale check. So, Jap morale. And the Australian fires back with a quarter of his, which is a half, so 1. Oh, they should have an extra +1 difference. Started there, go down. Morale, leader, Japanese. In fact, it's an M1 check. Can I just do that? Jap M1. Yeah. So that's their 3 up that they can go maximum. So that's that. Okay. So he starts on the 1. He's got nothing. So he's on the 1 and gets a 4 on the 1, which is nothing. Righto. So we have an M2, an M1 for this little fellow here. He's reduced, which is a 6. He's demoralized, which is a 5. It's an M1, so it's a 4 or less. He gets it. My God. Is that right? 6, 5 for demoralized, 4 for the M1. Yes. So 4 or less, and he rolled a 4. He did well. Okie dokie. So these guys are done. And we're back to the third activation for the Japanese now. So the sergeant here is going to activate, and they're going to move to here. Now, when they move to there, these guys can see. No, they can't. Yes, they can. No, they can't. This is light jungle. This is jungle. So they would be shooting across light jungle. Right. That's what I believe. So do we want to shoot with everybody or just something? Or do we not? No, we don't. We don't want to. No, we don't. So they've moved to there. They are done. That's their third activation. Their fourth activation will be these guys who will activate to fire. These guys are now spotted, sorry. Right. So it will be direct fire. So they have 2, 4, 7. So they have 7. And there's 3 units in there. Okay, so they have 7. Defenders in jungle, it's down 1. They're adjacent is +2. 3 combat units +1 is 16. Or 10 is an M1. Okay. So the lieutenant first, an M1, so he needs a 6 or less and passes. The sergeant needs a 8 or less, passes. The first infantry platoon, all of these platoons are 7s with nothing to go. So 6 for the first one, 6 or less, passes. Second infantry platoon fails and becomes disrupted, and the machine gun, 6 or less, becomes demoralized. Ouch. Okay. So these guys are done. So they've had their 4 activations now, 2 in assaults, this one and this one. So it's now the Australians' activation. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the lieutenant. Do we want to take the lieutenant? Why not? We're going to take the lieutenant, and we're going to take the 2 infantry platoons, and we're going to activate them to assault into here. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So we'll bring this over here like this, and we'll take these and we'll bring them over here. Like that. These guys have already activated, so there's no first fire or anything. Okay. So the Australians are a 4, an 8, a 9. I don't think we want to do anything else. Or 4, 8, 10. No, 9 will do fine. So it's just going to be these guys here. So we're on the 9. They don't get anything for that. There. Nothing there. Defending unit occupying woods, jungle, heavy woods. No, it's light jungle. All attacking side have higher morale. No, they do not. We get a +1 because we've got an undemoralized leader. And I think that's it. Just the +1. Yeah. So we go from the 9 to the 13. And we get a 4 on the 13, which is a step loss. So Australia 1. Now, these guys have already activated, so I don't think they get a shot back. Or do they? Damn it, Janet. Assault. Sorry about that. fire, minimum strength, burst fire, no. Firing into, no. Restrictions, no. I think is it reinforcing assault? Nothing for that. Reinforcing assault? No. Let's go up to here. Leaders, no. Combat, no. Combat types. Bombardment, direct fire. Where'd it go? It's leaders, combat types, spotting, bombardment, direct fire, anti-tank fire, assault. So it's all in 12. Let's see what I find here. Because I'm just going crazy. Entering a hex. Only activated good order units directed by a leader of the only type. Entry requires a fire activation. This is called assault movement. May do this only if they start adjacent. Yeah. Extended assault or overrun. No. Must stop moving once defended. This initiates an assault or reinforces an existing one. The assaulting units are the attacker, their opponents are the defender. The attacker can change in later, blah, 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 blah. Attacker status can go back and forth. Exiting a hex, no. Morale restrictions, no. Required combat. Assault combat must be resolved immediately when an active unit enters a hex containing enemy units and no friendly units. So we didn't have to attack if we didn't want, but we want to. Resolve the assault after all active units which are to enter the assault hex this action have finished entering. All units of both sides present in the hex must participate. All units of both sides present in the hex must participate. That's if an activated unit enters a hex which is already occupied by friendly and enemy at the start of the moving, or if his turn begins with both sides units in, then the active player may choose whether or not to attack with those units this turn. If he attacks any units that moved into the hex this turn, plus any undemoralized friendly units that began the turn and have not activated, may attack if desired. Not all units must attack, however, all enemy units defend as one combined strength. Okay, so they do defend. I just wanted to make sure. Okie doke. So we are attacking here with 4, 8, 9 on assault. We're on 9. We said that it's light jungle, so that doesn't matter. We don't have high morale. We do have an undemoralized friendly leader, so we go up to the 13. And I think that's going to be it. That's it. Okay, so we're on the 13. And we get a 4. A 4 on the 13 is a 1. Australia 1. Right, so that's what we actually had. Yes, right. Okay. And then these guys are 4, 8. So they're on the 5. They have better morale. They go up to the 9. They have an undemoralized friendly leader. They go to the 13. That's 2 up. And the Japanese, that's 3 up. So they're on the 18. 10 on the 18, which is a 1 as well. So both sides are a 1. Okay. So, oh, that was disrupted. Sorry, it was only a 6. Ooh. 4, 5, 6, 7. So we were here, and we had here, and we did a 4. So it's only an M2, in fact. Sorry. Australia, M2. And they got a 10, which is a 1 loss. Jap 1. Okay. Righto. So, that didn't save that. Righto. So we'll do the M2 up here first. So the lieutenant is an 8. M2 would be a 6 or less. And he becomes demoralized. So again, these guys are 9. And M2 would be a 7 or less for the first guy. Fails and is disrupted. Second guy fails and is demoralized. Okay, we take a step loss. Again, I believe it's got to go on the highest morale unit. They're both the same morale. So we'll take it on the disrupted guy. So we take a step loss. There, add out to our step losses. That's 16 now. We need to do a leader check here. An M2 check for everybody. So that's a 5 or less for the lieutenant. He fails and is demoralized. Reduced unit is a 6. So that's 4 or less. Gets a 3. Passes. And a 7 is a 5 or less. And he fails by 3 and is demoralized. And then we need, because we've done the loss here, we've got a 2 or a 3 for the lieutenant, and he is gone. Leader loss, and he is fine. Okay. So these guys here have activated, and they are done. Okay. Right. So that's the Australians' first activation. We're back to the Japanese. Bum, 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 bum. We've only got a demoralised there, so he'd be only shooting. He's only defending. He can't opportunity. No, he can't. So the colonel is going to move with his little man to here. And now it's the Australians for their second activation. So they're going to try and fix this up. So these guys are going to try and, the machine gun's trying to recover. So it is a 7, a 6, because it's demoralized. So 5 or less. Oh, fails big time. Where's my little cheat sheet? Demoralized and demoralized is step loss. Okay. Now, fails it. Yes. If he had got it disrupted, if he had just failed, then he would have just pulled back. But because of this, I think he takes a step loss. Which means that the sergeant can't do anything to help him. Takes a step loss. but it wasn't under fire, so I don't believe we have to worry about it there. So they're done, and we're back to the Japanese. We've got these guys to move. Who we got in Assault X2? We've got 3 units in there that have all activated. Okay, we're going to move the captain here onto the track. So hopefully next, but they're not going to get down next turn. Or next turn they'll get down to here, but they're not going to be able to do much. But it's better than nothing. Australians, I think what we will do is we will try and do what? I think we need to try and recover. So the lieutenant first. These guys don't need to do anything. This lieutenant first, so he is an 8, a 7, so less than 7 gets a 5. And this guy here is reduced, so that's a 6, a 7, a 6, so 5 or less. Got a 5. Well done. Okay, so they are done. So that's 1, 2, 3. So we are now at Fog of War for the Japanese. A 7, nothing. Okay. So they may as well just move these guys forward. Let's got the engineers and stuff. So they can just go to where? Where do you go to, my lovely? They may as well just come down here. They're not going to at all. Back to the Australians. Well, I think it's going to be this little fella here, but we need to do Fog of War first. 3. So this guy is going to activate to try and recover. So he is reduced, which is a 6, 5, so 4 or less. Gets a 3. And is now disrupted. Okay. So we're back to the Japanese. So Fog of War, a 15, not quite, not quite. I think all they've got is these guys here to move, so they'll go there 2, 3 to there. They're done. Back to the Australians. Now, I don't think the Australians have got anything. These are all, well, they've activated. Everybody in the salt hexes has activated. So that's it. So the Australians pass. The Japanese have nobody left to activate either. So that is the end of that. So we can get rid of the markers. These guys are not spotted. These guys are spotted. Righto. So this is what it's all coming down to, is this little bugger here, which is this here, with the major at 3 lieutenants, 2 reduced infantry platoons that are disrupted, and a demoralized infantry platoon against 2 infantry platoons, 1 disrupted, 1. So he's not going to be able to attack. He's going to have to attack by himself. Ooh. But all these, well, all these can defend. But they can get another unit in there from the sergeant here. That'll help them. The sergeant jumps in as well. Yeah. Ugh. Okay, so that was the 1100. The next one will be the 1115. Yeesh. Ouch. Okie dokie. So let us save this. To 1115. Saving and done. So I'm putting these out relatively fast. I'm playing these all on the same day. So this scenario, this training scenario, will be finished today, and everything will be up on the YouTubey thingy. So take care, be good, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.